today's episode is brought to you by the amazing people at Draftkings Sportsbook. You know, the NFL's official sports betting partner. Yes, indeed. Safe, secure, and reliable. And ladies and gentlemen, for the big game this weekend, they have something awesome going on, ladies. Yes. I'm talking about a super duper 56-1 odds on the big game. You bet $5, you'll win up to $280 in free bets. All you have to do is pick either the team from LA and they win, or the team from Cincinnati and they win. It is that simple. But, Deke, you got to use the promo code. And the promo code is MOATS. It is that simple. MOATS. You use that promo code, you put that bet in there, and you win it on the big game. Poo-wee. Then after that, man, you listen to our advice and make you some more money.
I'm excited for some of these props for the big game.
Absolutely. So that's how it's going to be. And shout out to DraftKings. But we also know this. When you're making money or attempting to make money, sometimes that quest can be a little tough. Sometimes you could get lost.
You're chasing the purple dragon.
Yeah, you're chasing it and you can get lost on that road. You feel me? Mm-hmm. All I would say is this. If you happen to know someone with a gambling problem, maybe they need crisis counseling or referral services, and they're located in New York, they should probably just call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or HOPE-NY. Excuse me on that one. Once again, it's 877-8-HOPE-NY. All right? That's if you're located in New York. Now, Deke, if you're located anywhere else, you know what you need to do?
I'm not located in New York.
Well, you better call 1-800-GAMBLER. I say, you better call 1-800-GAMBLER. The two guys that we're going to talk about today are actually the last two unrestricted free agents that we have not talked about just yet. Josh Dobbs being the first guy, and then Kalen Ballage will be the second guy that we discuss. So, starting with Josh Dobbs. What we like about Josh? Well, first off, I like the fact that he has cool merch. I got his hat on right now. I don't know if you know that, baby. Shout out to the homie Dobbs, man. He on that astronaut tip. Us researchers, us galaxy surfers.
I do like that.
Yeah, man. So it's a dope little concept. Want to plug him in right there. But in all seriousness, though, man, the things that we love about, or that I like about Dobbs, or that are pro for him, his athletic ability. Definitely has the ability to run, escape the pocket. I also like his smarts. Highly educated guy. We know that based on who he is. But then also, he's a guy that's had to play in some moments, right? In terms of, I think of that Raiders situation where it was like, man, it wasn't ideal, but we had to see him out there. I think of the season finale in Cleveland, was that a year ago, where we're implementing him and Mason and him doing some of the dual threat stuff. So for me, man, I do like all of those things with him. I also think that he has continued to improve every year that he has been here. Not just as a runner, but as a passer, understanding, how to improve on his accuracy, when to take chances and stuff like that. Always been a smart guy with the ball, and knowing that he was your guys, in terms of seven, that was the guy that he would talk to. That was his right hand. That was the guy that would let him know what he was seeing. So for Ben Roethlisberger to put that type of trust in Dobbs, that also lets me know that, hey, man, this dude knows what he's talking about. This dude is seeing it to a level that a Hall of Fame quarterback is willing to accept what he is trying to give him in terms of advice. So for all of those things, I definitely think are pros for him.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Now, my question with Dobbs is, how does he view himself with this?
What you mean?
Does he see himself as like a coach in waiting? Could he be that guy for Mason or Haskins here? Do they have that type of relationship?
Why would he want to, though, for those
That's
guys?
what I'm wondering. I don't know if this makes sense, if he's looking to play, because talking about the pros, it's all cool and well, but at the same time, part of me feels like the Josh Dobbs experience with Steelers kind of run its course a little bit. You know?
Elaborate, yeah.
With Haskins and Mason already being on the roster, it's like, really, we're already talking about drafting a rookie guy, maybe even signing another guy, and being cool with having 4 QBs on the roster. If I'm going to have 4 QBs, I'd rather have 2 other dudes that might actually have a chance to start or compete with Mason or Haskins. Whereas with Dobbs, I don't think he really can say that. I think Mason already beat him out in like the preseason. I take Haskins over him too. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm cool with all of that, being Ben's guy, being the guy on the sidelines, coaching people up like a backup, third string, whatever it is. Does he view himself that way, though? Does he think he can have a chance somewhere else? For his sake, I hope he does get another chance. But I just don't know if it's right for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for me, man, I think of that as well, because part of the negative is just how the Steelers perceive him right now. Because
could it just be a too many cooks in the kitchen type of scenario?
Yeah, because the whole him versus Mason narrative, I still have mixed feelings about it, because part of it, I feel like the first year I thought that Dobbs was the better guy. I thought he beat him out. Then the next year I thought that Mason won that, and that was ultimately why we moved Dobbs. And then this past year, Dobbs wasn't really in the conversation like that, but when he did get his opportunities in the preseason game, he moved the offense. We talked about that. We was like, man, we know Haskins look good out here. Haskins got scoring drives, and we was like, Dobbs creating scoring drives. For me, when I think of that, I always ask myself, well, hey, is it different if he was out there with the ones? Because we don't really get to see a lot of that. So that's the only reason why I'm not all the way like, man, I think it's run its course completely, because of that part. It's like, man, what's to say an opportunity opens up for him where he does get the opportunity with the ones, and then he can show that, hey, even though I have success when I'm out here in the fourth preseason game, I'm out here with the regular people, when I'm out here with the guys, I'm still good enough to get the job done. I can't say yes or no to that, because we really haven't seen him get the type of opportunity that we've seen Mason get, or even Haskins and another organization get. So, but the knock on that could also be, well, hey, he hasn't been good enough to actually
he's
win it. Jaguars, you know what I mean? Right? Yeah. But he was down there in Jacksonville when they had brought in Nick Foles. Nick Foles got hurt, and then after that, it was the Minshew Mania move, right? So I say, man, okay, where was Minshew to Jacksonville what Mason was to us during that time frame, where we knew, hey, when Ben went down that 1 year, Mason was going to be the guy. He was going to get every single opportunity. It took him having the worst game probably ever of his career to actually get pulled, and he didn't even get pulled that game. He got pulled the next game and a half. So you could see how much we were willing to allow Mason to get that leash to really run his course. Jacksonville with Gardner Minshew, I felt like it was very similar in terms of some of that. Whereas with Dobbs, we really can't point to him having a flame out. We can't point to him having an opportunity and really just blowing it. And that's the part for me where I'm just like, cheap option. We know he has some of the prerequisites that we're talking about, and some of these quarterbacks we're trying to go get, right? Who still have question marks around him, but it's like, well, they got the athletic part. Technically, he is the most athletic of the bunch that we have here in Pittsburgh. So that's the only reason why I'm just like thinking about it.
I definitely don't think it hurts us if we're not going to bring in Jameis or Mariota or draft a quarterback. Doesn't hurt us at all. If we're just going to stick with Mason and Haskins, this could very well be what the Steelers do. Yeah, why not bring him in as the third guy? So
you're saying if we have four quarterbacks, one of those is a guy that we brought in from outside and a draft pick with Mason Rudolph, and now Dobbs is that extra will, I'm with you. That's definitely
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if we draft a guy, it's borderline. I would see him more at that point as the QB whisperer for us.
Okay.
How's that relationship between him and Mason? I mean, they've been in competition with each other. Him and Haskins, I don't know if it's the same as him and Ben, whereas Ben's the older guy. Yeah. Dobbs is like helping him out like that. So it all depends on how Dobbs uses himself. I think there could be a role, even if we did draft a guy on the roster, overseeing things a little bit, helping out. But I think that's where he is with the Steelers organization, because you're talking about first team reps.
Yeah,
I don't want to see him get any first team reps if we're going between Mason and Haskins.
Well, yeah, because we want those two guys to get the rest so we can see win.
And especially if you draft a guy too, or bring in Mariota or Jameis, whoever it is. So that's why I could just see him getting buried on the depth chart with us, where you're just like, what's the point? If we bring in other guys, if you just want a guy for depth, knows the organization, we don't address the quarterback situation in any other way, it's just Mason and Haskins, sure, it doesn't hurt us.
Yeah.
It'd be cheap, $1 million.
If it's solely, it wouldn't even be $1 million. About to say, but if it's solely just Mason and Haskins, yes, I would definitely like to have Dobbs, that third guy. Just give us something different in there. But yeah, if we're gonna draft a quarterback, or if we're gonna acquire one of these guys through free agency or through trade that we've been talking about, then it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Do you think Dobbs feels? He probably doesn't feel good about it, but is he okay with just saying, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be the third guy?
Put it like this. He would do it for the financial situation. He would do it because he knows it makes the most sense. But in his heart, he wants the ball. He wants to play. And he feels that he can be that guy. And I understand that feeling because, you believe in yourself. He's a guy that played in the SEC, has success. He was a mid-round draft pick, 4th round. So, as a player, you're definitely going to always feel like you could be that guy or should be that guy. But at the end of the day, for him, when he looks around and he understands the situation, he can say to himself, do I take this role as player coach essentially to whoever we draft, try to mentor and bring him up that way? Or do I take a chance going to a different organization, but maybe it makes me the solidified QB number 2 instead of the fringe quarterback / practice squad guy here? And there's no real guarantee that you're going to get that long of a leash to do that, because Landry Jones was supposed to be that same person, right?
Yeah.
That would stay here and be the QB whisperer, the new Charlie Batch. And the difference is, it's like Charlie started for multiple years before. Charlie had already proven that. Whereas with Dobbs, with Landry, even Mason and Haskins to an extent, they haven't proven that they are guys just yet. So you can't even just lock them in as QB2 for even if we did bring in a young guy or a veteran quarterback that's more established, because they haven't even proven themselves just yet, man.
Yeah, if he went somewhere else, obviously wouldn't be competing for starter, probably between QB2 and QB3. But maybe he has more upside in a different organization.
Right.
Because with us, I just don't see him getting past QB2 right now. It'd be QB3 automatically.
Think about Vegas. If Mariota were to leave and he signed in Vegas, he would do the Mariota thing. He would come in and be the Wildcat guy. Hey, come in and do the gadget stuff.
You're just hoping someone gets hurt. That's about it.
Yeah.
Not really, but kind of.
I mean, in a sense, yeah. That's what
hurt, not detrimental to anyone's career, but just so I can show some tape.
Just enough that you can't play the whole game. All right? All I need about 15 plays. 15 plays, I cook.
Because that could be the case. If he beats someone out for QB2 somewhere else, a starter gets hurt, he's able to show some tape for a couple games, whatever it is, and then maybe he could hit the bank again next offseason.
Seriously, yeah, man.
Actually get a chance to compete for starter, whatever it is. But that could be the path if he goes to another team, not the Steelers. Steelers, you're capped. You're not going to be anything more than QB3, and that's without us even getting another quarterback in free agency or draft.
And you'll probably never get to start, barring catastrophic injuries where guys just aren't making it into the stadium at all. Like,
almost like that's what happened in 2019 with us.
Seriously, it's
with
crazy.
Ben going down and then Mason kind of flubbing around a little bit, but he got hurt too.
Yeah.
He got hurt, and then Duck came in. You're right.
Yeah. So it's
if we would have kept Dobbs, he would have had his chance. Actually,
that would have been his year.
That would have
been his year, man.
We had faith in the Duck, though.
We did, man. All right, and it looks like Solo One came back talking about the talking about a little bit of the QB conversation, and here we go. More value. Yeah, here we go. He says more value at keeping Dobbs at QB3 and parting ways with Kalen Ballage. He thought Kalen Ballage was going to be so much more. He says that Josh Dobbs is a modern day Charlie Batch.
That's how everyone's viewing Dobbs, the QB whisperer.
All because of your boy. I mean, that was one of the greatest things that Ben could do for Dobbs right there. When he said, that's I go talk to him. I get that from him. I trust him. When he said that, it instantly, he's Batch. He's the man.
More value keeping Dobbs. Yeah, if we don't address the QB situation, we just went over that. Yeah, keep Dobbs. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I think that would have to be the case, though. You couldn't address it because trying to think of a scenario if you're Dobbs where you talk yourself into coming back if they addressed it. I think the only way I'm doing that is if they don't sign a veteran and they draft. I say if they don't sign a quarterback in free agency and they draft the guy in like any round opposite of round 1, if you Dobbs, just like, you know what? Nah, we might hang around in the wings. We might be able to, because I just feel like if you got 4 guys on the roster, what's the likelihood of you keeping both Mason and Haskins? I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe you could just be in that
much clash. No, there's no way. We can't do that. We can't do that.
I was just checking.
No, you can't do that.
Get rid of the distraction.
All it takes is an injury to Mason.
Get rid of
we just had
I thought
Haskins.
you told me with Ben we got rid of distractions. You ain't want to bring in quarterbacks, right? We don't need competition for all that.
I told you that.
So,
he's proven that.
We can just go back to that,
Don't bring
man.
anyone around.
Dude, I'm just like, just have it where whoever wins the battle, just get rid of the other guy, and there, it's their it's your car. You drive it the way you want to drive. Don't look over your shoulders.
Really want to get into coaching because maybe, you know how Ben talked about, I go to Dobbs for this and that, built that reputation up a little bit. Maybe if he comes here, Mason turns his career around, Haskins turns his career around. He's a practice squad guy, but he's on the sidelines, whatever it is. We could point to Dobbs as being a big reason. And then all of a sudden he could be QB coach.
You know who he is?
OC the following year, whatever it is.
He's either Kellen Moore.
Something like that.
What's the cat that was in Houston? The quarterback, the old head quarterback, McCown.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's McCown. Trying to think who else is doing that. Josh McCown. Oh my goodness, that whole
That would be
like
it.
yeah, like Chase Daniels type where he just lingers, he lasts forever, and yeah, he's gonna back you up, but he's gonna be very really smart, and it's just a matter of time before he gets that opportunity to be QB coach, pass game coordinator, offensive coordinator, head coach. Yep,
that's how to be. That's the reputation he could build this season.
Yeah,
just be around it.
Yeah,
but I don't know if Mason or Haskins are going to be giving him any credit.
I don't see them doing that. That's different.
Ben had a couple Super Bowls, you know.
Big time difference.
Been around the franchise.
He was a lot more confident.
Yeah, he could spill some credit out.
And you notice he ain't spill it to Mason either. He said, hold on. Who can I? Duck. I love Duck all of a sudden.
Even Haskins, man. Ben was loving Haskins. Oh, man, he could throw the ball so good. Throw it through a car wash. The ball's dry. He could sling it out there with anyone.
We ain't hear none of that about Mason. Like, oh, okay.
He did give him some stuff, though, at the end of the season.
After the fact.
Yeah, he's like...
He deserves a chance to start somewhere.
Maybe without me being here, he could step up.
Yeah.
I'll be around to help.
Mm-hmm.